Before you sleep, let me tell you about a kind of death that comes only at night, and only to the young and the strong. For 100 years it had a name, but no cause. The people who lived alongside it were so afraid of it that some of them stopped wanting to fall asleep at all. This is not a ghost story, though for a long time it wore the costume of one. It is, in the end, a story about a thing that was hiding in plain sight, inside the body, in a place no one thought to look. And it is a story from a green and humid corner of the world, where this fear has lived for a very long time. In the Philippines, they call it Bangungot. The word means something close to a nightmare, a rising up and a moaning in your sleep. For generations, it was exactly that. A young man, perfectly healthy, would eat a good meal, lie down for the night, and somewhere in the small dark hours, he would begin to groan, to thrash, to make the sounds of someone fighting something the people in the next room could not see. And by morning, he would be gone. No wound, no illness anyone had noticed, no warning at all. Just a strong young man who went to sleep and did not wake. When a thing like that happens once, you call it a tragedy. When it happens again and again to the same kind of person, in the same quiet way, you start to look for a reason. And in the absence of a medical one, the people who lived with Bangungot did what frightened people have always done. They gave it a face. They said it was the Batibat, an old spirit, heavy and swollen, said to live in the trees that were cut to build the house. At night, she would come and settle herself on the chest of a sleeping man, pressing down with all of her terrible weight until he could not breathe and could not rise. The groaning in the dark was a man trying to wake. The stillness afterward was the spirit having won. It is easy, from a comfortable distance, to call that a superstition. But sit with it for a moment. These were people watching the healthy die for no reason anyone could name. The demon was not ignorance. The demon was the best explanation they had for something real. Something that was genuinely killing their sons, and something medicine could not yet touch. And so the rituals began. To ward off Bangungot, a man might sleep on his side, never his back, so the spirit could find no flat place to sit. Some bit their thumbs before sleeping. Some kept a knife or a clove of garlic by the bed. Mothers told sons that if you woke unable to move, you had to wiggle a toe, a finger, anything, and the smallest movement would break the spell. What is strange, what is almost unbearable, is how close some of that folk wisdom came to the truth without ever knowing why. Because Bangungot was not only a Filipino sorrow. The same death, the exact same pattern, was being seen all across Southeast Asia under other names. In Thailand, they called it lai tai, death during sleep. In Japan, pokuri, the word for something that ends suddenly, without notice. Young men at night, at rest, gone. Different languages, different demons, the same quiet killer. In the Philippines, the first medical reports of it appear around the year 1917. And for most of the century that followed, the doctors were no better off than the grandmothers. They opened up the ones who had died, looking for the wound. And they found, over and over, nothing. A healthy heart, clear lungs, a young body that by every measure should have had 50 more years in it. Anyone who has worked a night shift in a hospital knows the particular cold that comes with a patient found down in their bed. Not a fall, not a fight, not a long illness anyone had time to prepare for. Just a person who was fine, and then was not. In the space between two breaths, nobody was counting. You look for the reason. because there is always supposed to be a reason. And Bangungot, for the longest time, refused to give one. They guessed, of course. For years, a popular theory blamed the pancreas, an inflammation set off by the heavy meal and the alcohol of the night before. Others pointed at the breathing, at the idea that the sleeper simply stopped. One by one, as the science got sharper, those answers fell away. The pancreas was a bystander. The breathing was not the start of it. The truth was somewhere else, and it was smaller than anyone had imagined. The truth was in the wiring. Your heart is not really a muscle that decides on its own to beat. It is a muscle told when to beat, by electricity, by tiny gates in the walls of its cells that open and close and let charged particles rush in and out in a rhythm so precise it keeps you alive. Sodium in. The signal fires. The chambers squeeze. Over and over, every second of your life, in perfect time. Now imagine that in some people, one of those gates is built just slightly wrong. A single fault in a single gene, the one that shapes the sodium channels of the heart. For their whole lives, it causes no trouble at all. They run, they work, they laugh, they look exactly as healthy as they feel. The flaw only shows itself under very particular conditions. At rest, at night, when the body slows, and the heart's own rhythm slows with it, and that one bad gate, in that one quiet moment, lets the electricity fall out of step. And the heart, instead of beating, begins to quiver. A fast, useless, fatal rhythm that moves no blood at all. There is no pain to wake the sleeper in time. There may be a groan, a stir, the body's last blind attempt to rise against a weight it cannot name. And then, nothing. It has a name now. It is called brugada syndrome, after the brothers who described it. And when researchers went looking, they found it threaded through exactly the places Bangungot had always haunted, and through exactly the people it had always taken. Young men, Southeast Asian families, a thing carried quietly in the blood, passed from parent to child, waiting. So sit with what that means. The Ba-Ti-But was real. Not as a spirit in the rafters, but as a fault in the heart, heavy and patient, settling on the chest in the dark exactly as the old stories said. The grandmothers were wrong about the cause, and right about almost everything else. The danger of the night, the stillness of the body, the way it came for the strong while they slept, and spared no warning. They had drawn a true map of a thing they could not see, and labeled the empty center of it with the only word they had. And here is the part that does not let go of me. Bangungot did not end when we named it. Brugada syndrome is still out there, still silent, still running in families who have no idea they carry it, until the night it announces itself, for the first and only time. We can find it now, sometimes, on a careful reading of the heart's electricity. We can guard against it. But somewhere tonight, there is a young man, healthy by every test he has ever taken, who carries one gate built slightly wrong, and does not know. The demon was never in the trees. It was always closer than that. It was inside, in the small electrical hum that keeps every one of us alive, and that asks, in return, only that nothing ever goes wrong with the timing. That is the truth of Bangungot. Less than a ghost, and somehow so much more. A reminder that the body is a quiet machine running in the dark, and that for most of us, night after night, it simply keeps its rhythm and lets us wake. So breathe. Feel that steady beat under everything, the one you never have to think about. It is keeping time for you right now, and it intends to keep keeping it. Let it. Let the dark be only the dark tonight. Rest easy. I'll see you in the small hours.